Hey guys, it's Ava here. Welcome to TLC Flicks Thursday, October 3, 2024. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. The first half of this episode featured a discussion about a wedding that Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Christine Mary attended. Each of them shared their experiences with the drama of attending the event and talking about a vague bride and groom, as well as Christine. Declares outright at the beginning of this episode's narration that these people have no interest in our becoming known. Now, when the folks on this show watch the show mention that they're public, I believe a lot of people assume that they're polygamists in the public eye. But what she really wants to say is that they're prominent personalities who are on a program. They refer to public as show and code. In actuality, she was implying that these individuals had informed Kody, Robyn, Christine, Janelle, Mary, or whoever else that they did not want to be highlighted on the show. And that's why they wanted nothing to do with the fact that we were on it. The episode wasn't what they wanted. They were opposed to an episode about it. It wasn't filmed by them. They talked about it even though they really didn't want to. Michelle, Logan Brown's wife, attested to this. Additionally, Mykelti Padron has acknowledged that she did not get any compensation for the effort she did to film her birth for the show, which adds more information concerning the exploitation that took place in this episode. Thus, the final 30 minutes of that show focused on McKinley's birth. She lifted everything heavy. It was she who gave birth, who underwent surgery, and who delivered the children. It was her that made all of the doctor visits and handled all of that. Thus, she is not compensated when shooting at Dr. Bean's office, nor is she compensated when filming in her home, where she discusses the events that are taking place. Who, though, did you think got paid? Two individuals who weren't really performing any heavy lifting were Christine and Robyn. Therefore, the main focus of Christine and Robyn's drama was Mykelti's birth, which served as the backdrop for their place filming. In essence, they made free use of Mykelti's birth. Since she isn't being compensated by Kody or her mother, Mykelti has a Patreon page where she may genuinely gain money. Alright, so the wedding was this major source of contention, right? We discussed this in my first show when Kody expressed his reluctance to go and Robyn was concerned about how awkward it would be to run into everyone. For his safety, Kody claimed he was placed in the rear, in the corner, next to Robyn. Logan was informed by Kody that the main reasons he didn't think he wanted to go were the show's garbage talk and the extreme animosity in the family. Christine went so far as to say that she detests their frequent behind-the-back chats because it's part of the act. She detests hearing negative things said about her by others. They don't say it to each other's space, and she detests knowing what they think of her. The fact that this polygamous family is also featured on a television show where they are all connected, although through contracts, and where their entire lives are sold to TLC, only serves to exacerbate and intensify the complex dynamic that could blow out. Thus, TLC is free to discuss any movie, any topic they like, involving the family. The family is not involved in the editing process. They have no influence on what's shown, how the plots develop or change, who is portrayed favorably or unfavorably, or how it's all presented. To create an interesting presentation, they can really use any part of the film, any video, and exploit it however they see fit. The family that is involved under the contract is essentially giving up their right to privacy because, at the end of the day, they are filming a show to entertain viewers. That same agreement does not apply to those who are not on the show and who are not under contract with TLC. Michelle and Logan are no longer present on the program. Logan's only appearance on Sister Wives was as a background character during Christine's wedding. Michelle was there at the McKinley sprinkle, but she remained silent. Her face only made a fleeting appearance during the occasion. It's not them on the show. In reality, they are not cast members. They truly do have a right to privacy because they aren't bound by any contracts. They are not in violation of their contract if they choose not to allow cameras to film anything. Nevertheless, TLC is free to take advantage of Kody, Robyn, Janelle, and Christine because they are all bound by contracts, and Kody frequently collaborates with producer Tim Gibbons to create narratives and plots. As the show's principal, Kody is the main actor. Originally, when the contracts were signed, they were with Kody Brown and the Kody Brown Family Entertainment LLC. Later, they were with Dabsark Entertainment, which consists of Kody and Robyn. Therefore, even though Kody is the main lead cast member and the primary principal, Christine, Janelle, and Mary do not have as much influence as Kody has. The focus of the episode was Kody and his wife. Kody's wives are just numbers to him. Kody, his wives, Janelle, Mary, Christine, Robyn, and so on are not involved. Thus, Kody is taking advantage of a wedding on TLC that doesn't want to be captured on camera for financial gain. As word spread, Michelle Petty, Logan's wife, was reacting to a creator discussing this episode on TikTok. Michelle added, "We told the family that we would prefer that the wedding not be discussed on the show at all, but we understood that we had no control over what they discussed. The fact that it would be a 20-minute storyline point was unknown to us. To be fair, the first 11 or 12 minutes of the wedding episode were the section of the show that I believe was about it. It's not quite 20 minutes, but it's still a lengthy segment. This wedding took up the first part of the segment. They informed them, we don't want to be on the show," she continues. "They are aware that they have no control over what is said on the show. But in general, if someone tells you that they would prefer not to be on the show and you agree to refrain from filming, you cannot make them comply because, let's face it, part of the reason why some of these kids don't want to be on the show is because they aren't being paid. Therefore, why would they risk their lives for the sake of entertainment and tie it into a drama where their event will be featured?" Mykelti acknowledged on her Patreon that she was fully aware that whatever footage they shot with her would not be about her. Rather, it would serve as a forum for the family to discuss their issues. As a result, every action they take is calculated to create a film that Kody, Robyn, Christine, Janelle, and Mary can use to commentate on all the issues their family is facing. Thus, even though there was no drama at the real event, that is where they insert the drama. See what's happening here, do you? Therefore, there isn't much drama at the wedding. Everyone acts as though they don't care about one another while ignoring one another. They just take a high wave. It's not dramatic at all. Drama would have included altercations, yelling, screaming, getting upset, and turning tables. However, that isn't how things work in this reality. Evidently, Mormon fundamentalism, which is crazy given that you are aware that Robyn advises that it is unsafe to attend these gatherings, so there won't be any altercations if nothing happens. In reality, all they're doing is making drama out of circumstances that didn't require it in order to make money off of a show. The exploitation is that despite Logan's desire to not be on the show and the fact that neither his name nor Michelle's are mentioned, the timeline and the information that has been made public demonstrate that Logan is who they say they are. In that particular episode, Christine stated that Mykelti was placed on extreme bed rest, which I'm not even sure what that means. It's just bed rest. Simply put, she was on bed rest and unable to leave because she would be giving birth to twins in a few weeks. This meant that the wedding would have taken place in October 2022, which is precisely when Logan got married. Many mistakenly believed that it was Gwendolyn's wedding because she married in July 2023. Mykelti attended the ceremony with her 2 sons, none of whom she was expecting. They mentioned a bride and groom when they called. A bride and a bride was not mentioned. Other than the weddings of members of their immediate family, they have never discussed on this show the weddings of other family members. With the exception of Leon, who is wed to Audrey, every other marriage that has taken place in this family has been documented on this show. Consequently, Maddie, Mykelti, and Aspen all got married on the show. By the way, none of them received compensation for it. Additionally, there was a plot regarding Mykelti's daring to become engaged while Madison was getting married, which took place in between Maddie and Mykelti's nuptials. Really, it seemed as though she was attempting to outshine her sister, and why couldn't she wait for Maddie to get her moment? Since love can be stopped in that way. Thus, everything revolves around drama and the use of their family members as plot devices. With the exception of Mary, who no longer uses her child on the show, these adults are Kody, Janelle, Robyn, Christine, and Mary. The others are exploiting their children for storylines, which is fascinating since why don't they just utilize their own life as a storyline? Mary hasn't even addressed her child in the last 2 or 3 seasons. It seems as though they are depending on their children to carry out the heavy lifting since they either don't have their own drama or don't want to use their own lives for drama. Major life events for the children, births, graduations, engagement parties, weddings are not covered by insurance. Thus, even if they are all employed, they are not compensated. After that, they get to see a show. They get to offer their drama and commentary on it. Of course, they get to make that family gathering into a public entertainment event. So why would I hold Kody more accountable than the other women? Since Kody is the chosen one. That's the main idea of this series. He is the star of the ensemble. He is the main attraction. Even if we detest Kody Brown, the drama on the show would not be the same without him because of how much of it centers on him at the moment. Sister Wives' premise and plotline literally revolve around Kody's relationships ending. The primary character is Kody. He is the principal in chief. As much as I detest it, Kody Brown and the show are all about him. Because there are 4 cast members, the women are helping them. Since Kody is the focal point of the family, his storylines are more significant than Christine and Janelle's because he appears in every single one and is discussed in every single one. Even when Christine and Janelle take actions unrelated to Kody, they will still eventually bring up Kody. He was the man who had each of them as his children. The plot centers on his collapsing life. This show has evolved into that. Additionally, the subplots involve Christine, Janelle, and Nuri moving on. The main plot then revolves around Kody's actions after everything has come back to haunt him. Since he is the main character, he can act like a prick, whine, cast criticism, and refuse to take responsibility. He is free to say anything he pleases. He is free to frame it any way he pleases. He understands. To shirk accountability. He is able to deflect verbal abuse directed at him. Because he is the main character, Kody is the focus of everything. Additionally, it is he who will schedule a meeting in advance with the production team to discuss what he hopes to film. What will the season's plot be this time around? In what direction shall we proceed? They have to plan out each episode in advance, so they have to decide in advance, for example, what to cover in episode 3. What can we expect from episode 4? What can we expect from episode 5? Each of these events that are being videotaped has a production budget that covers all of the costs. They receive payment for all of these occasions. For example, they receive a set sum of money for marriages and an additional sum for births. Therefore, in addition to the extra money Kody receives for earning more than everyone else on the show, he also receives incentives for weddings and births. Gabrielle has not appeared in any of the first 3 episodes of this season's series. Savannah hasn't been around much. There is no Garrison in sight. Although Garrison has since passed away, this was filmed in 2022. Maddie, Mickey, and Isabel were all briefly spotted, but Isabel hasn't participated in any interviews. She's simply more like in the movies, and Aspen is the same. While it is being filmed, she is present, but Aspen and Isabel are not conversing on the couch. Other family members have attended some of the events, but once more, they remain silent. They are, I suppose, more or less extras for the movie. Actually, Kody is the one driving behind all of this, so it's the 5 grown-ups doing this now, but I hold Kody responsible for it all. The main recipients of all the proceeds from this event have been Kody and Robyn. They've also benefited from the riches, presence, recognition, and notoriety. Though not to the same degree as Kody and Robyn, the other women have benefited. Therefore, the individual who is at fault is ultimately the one who stands to gain the most. Kody is the one with the last word. Why then are the women supporting it? I'm not sure. They're willing participants. They are aware that in any case, they will be discussed. Therefore, they intend to take part. They are compensated. Some of their children now take part because they anticipate being discussed. It's not fair, so they might as well make a movie. To labor hard and not be compensated is unfair. How else could you go into a filming location for a day and expect to not be paid? They wouldn't receive payment if they were an actress. They are merely background actors, and Kody uses NDAs to keep them under control. Thus, some kids who do show up to shoot are made to sign non-disclosure agreements, which contain a clause prohibiting them from discussing their father online or criticizing him in an attempt to defame his show. This is another reason why some kids choose not to film. Before Gwendolyn could enter her own engagement party, she was compelled to sign an NDA with the network. Who wants to like Gwendolyn when she showed up for her engagement party, which was being filmed for the show and it was meant to be about her? She declared at that moment that she would never film again. She is not going to be in any films at all. It is, in my opinion, one of the main explanations for her decision to skip Christine's wedding. The elephant in the room is the exploitation of the show and how it's affected the family, which is another reason I believe she is cut off from both Kody and Christine. She unfollowed Christine on Instagram at this point, so I believe this to be another reason. If you're looking for more Sister Wives gossip, come back to TLC Flicks for all your updates. Bye, guys.